What's good, everyone? This is your man, Boss Life, and we got a good topic for you this evening, this Good Friday evening. It's something that I've seen in the last few days, and I was like, you know what, man, there needs to be a response. There needs to be a response about this because, and this is the issue of the man, so-called man weave, right? Uh, the other day, Cynthia G and a friend of hers, another fellow YouTuber, whatever, they made a video on the issue of the man weave, and they were so excited. Man, if you see the video, they were so excited. They were so happy about it. They were so giddy about the issue of the so-called man weave. So I watched it, and then I'm looking at the comments in the comment section, and women are excited about it. They're happy about it. And what I gathered from it is that they're excited and happy about it because I guess they feel that this somehow gives them an excuse now, right? They feel like this gives them an excuse to continue on with their weave, and now nobody can say anything to them because, hey, look, black men are doing. By the way, for those who don't know, since Cynthia G, likes to put it off like she's this intelligent debater and all of that's known as the two quote key fallacy, which translates from the Latin as the you too also, or you too, meaning that, in other words, it's a logical fallacy. It's not a valid argument, right? If somebody's saying, hey, smoking, you should stop smoking, it's bad for you. And even if the person who tells you that smoking is bad for you is smoking, you say, well, hey, you're smoking too. Okay, and so what? Smoking is still bad for you. So that's the logical fallacy that it seems that these women are using by saying, oh, yeah, see? Yeah, look at all these black men doing it. And so therefore, y'all can't say nothing to us now. Y'all need to shut up with that. Okay, even if black men were doing this in large numbers, which they're not, which we're going to talk about that also, but even if black men were doing this in large numbers, okay, so what? It's still wrong for black women. It's still wrong regardless, right? It's still wrong no matter what. Even if black men are getting the man weave or whatever, it's not a logical argument to say, see, you guys are doing it now, so you can't say nothing to us about it now. Y'all need to be quiet. No, it's still a problem. It's still an issue, right? Whether black men are doing it also, it's still an issue. It doesn't negate the fact that it's still a problem and it's still wrong. So, but they seem to think like that somehow now gives black women an excuse, and black men now, you got to be quiet now because a few black men are getting this so-called man weave. But we're going to talk about the issues on that, all right? So, like I said, they seem to be really happy about it because it seems like they think, and when you read the comments in the comment section, you'll see that obviously a lot of the women feel that this gives them some kind of valid excuse to continue to keep wearing the blonde wigs, then the blonde weaves, and the straight hair from Malaysia and Russia and Indonesia and India. But that's the problem, and that's the problem that they kept ignoring, is the fact that the reason, the issue that a lot of people, black men and women, have with the weave wearers is that it's an imitation of white beauty standards, regardless of whether you're getting the hair from Peru or Malaysia or China or whatever. The idea is still, you're not trying to imitate a Chinese woman. You're not trying to imitate a Malaysian woman or an Indian woman, are you? No. The issue is you live here in America in Western society, or in the UK in Western society. We understand the fact that over decades and generations we've been brainwashed to accept white beauty standards, and of course particularly more so with the black woman, not all, but with some black women, you've been taught, and we know we've been taught to hate our hair. Malcolm X talked about it in the video. Who taught you to hate yourself, right? We've been taught to hate the texture of our hair, and so especially with the females, you want to have your hair straight and so-called silky and flowing in like a white woman's hair. So when you get the Malaysian hair or the Indonesian hair or the Indian hair or whatever, you're not getting it because you want to look like an Indian. You're trying to get it because you want to imitate the beauty standards of white women, and that's the issue. That's the issue about the weave. You see? So the other thing about it was that, if you watch the video, they were going off as if this is widespread amongst black men with no proof whatsoever. She's always talking about the evidence and the proof and all that. No proof was presented that this is widespread amongst black men. And it's not. It's not. Okay? It's not widespread amongst black men like it is with black women. Some black women, right? Many black women. Many black women, most black women you run into are wearing wig or weave. And that's a problem. These few black men that are doing it, they don't represent the majority. Most black, every black men that you run into, or the majority of the black men that you run into on the street, you're not going to find that he has this man weave or toupee on his head. But many black women that you run into have weave or wig on, unfortunately. Big up to the sisters that are natural. Let me say that, because this is not a black woman bashing video. I don't want to be put in that category. This is not a black woman bashing video. So big up to the sisters who have gone natural and wear their hair natural. And you know what? I'll add this. If you do wear weave, big up to the sisters who, if you're wearing weave, at least you're trying to get a weave that imitates a black woman hairstyle. You're getting braids, or you're getting micro braids, or you're getting the ones that look like dreads or something like that. So if you're at least getting weave that resembles what a black woman's hair or black person's hair looks like, then big up to you for that too. I'll even throw it. I'll be a little bit lenient, okay? So I want to make that clear. So now let's get into the reason though. So what they did in that video, when you watch it, and then she did a follow-up video after that. But in both videos, they're very happy, like as if this gives them some valid excuse, but it doesn't. I want everybody to understand it. It does not give a valid excuse for black women to continue wearing weave because men are wearing toupees or getting this man weave, because you're ignoring the issue. The issue is that black men have had, and some black women have had, against the weave, is that it's an imitation of white beauty standards. It's being done to imitate white beauty standards of so-called straight hair, which is not necessarily the hair texture of black women, unless you're mixed or something like that, right? In most cases, okay? But as you can see here in these pictures, when black men do it, number one, first of all, what's the reason? There's a different reason why the black men are doing it and why black women are doing it. When black men do it, we've seen that it's because of, as you see in this picture, what? Hair loss. Hair loss is the reason. Everyone, look at the reason. Look, hair loss. Hair loss, because they're going bald. They're going bald on top of the head. Going bald, or they're losing hair. Hair is patchy, thinning out, right? These are the reasons. These are the reasons that you see that they're getting it. Because they're losing hair. Their hair is thinning out. Not the reason black women do it. Why do black women get the weave? Black women get the weave. Excuse me, some black women, many black women get the weave, not because your hair is thinning out, but because you don't like the texture that your hair, the hair that God gave you on your head. Like Malcolm X said, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair, the shape of your nose, the size of your lips, your skin color? Who taught you to hate that? So it's a completely different reason why black men are getting the so-called man weave as compared to why black women are getting it. Black women are getting it because they hate or dislike the texture of their natural hair. So there's a self-hatred there. Now the men, this could be a form of self-hatred, but it's not a self-hatred based upon the infection of white supremacy. It's more so a self-hatred or dislike because of the thinning of your hair and not just accepting how your hair is, right? It's more so because of the feeling lack of confidence because you're losing your hair, and it makes you look like an older man, like George Jefferson or something like that, right? But not because they hate the texture of their hair, their natural hair. Because as you can see, look at what the men are getting. Look at what they get. These men, look at this gentleman here. What does he have? Does he have a hairstyle like Brad Pitt? Does he have a hairstyle like Tom Cruise or George Clooney? No, right? He got hair that looks like it would naturally grow out of a black man's hair, right? He didn't get Tom Cruise hair sewed onto his head or glued to his head. He didn't get Brad Pitt's hair on his head, right? Or Ling Chao Ming from China's hair put on his head. right? Or Mong Sung Duk from Korea's hair put on his head. No, right? Or Emmanuel from, or Emmanuel Vasquez from Brazil's hair put on his head. He got hair that looks like it grows from a black man's hair on his head. And everyone I've seen, this is what I've seen. They all get hair that looks like it is the hair of a black man. Right? So as you see here, again, look at look, he's going bald on the top. But so when he gets his so-called man weave glued on his head, what does he get? Look at it. He gets hair that looks like his hair from a black man. Not Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or George Clooney or Sean Penn or whatever the hell. He got hair that looks like it belongs to a black man. That's the difference, Cynthia and other black women on her channel getting happy and giddy because you now think you have an excuse. You don't. You don't. Your reasons for getting the weave is the upholding of white beauty standards. And I know Cynthia G always likes to run away from this fact that people call her out on her wig, right? On her straight, silky hair wig that does not look like a black woman. So she tries to use the excuse that, oh, I'm not really pro-black. Bullshit, Cynthia. Bull. You know damn well you are pro-black because your issue is what? You're trying to speak on behalf of the black community, right? Your agenda is to try to uplift the black, well, what it would appear that you're trying to uplift the black community, or you want the black community to do better and fight against white supremacy and all that. So you can use that lame false excuse that you're not really pro-black as an excuse to avoid addressing the fact that although you are so much for the so-called for the upliftment of the black people and against white supremacy, yet you still have an imperfection. The fact that you still have an infection of white beauty standards by wearing that straight-haired wig on your head. So yeah, you're all pro-black and you're all for the upliftment and you're against white supremacy and all that. Yet you still got one little problem there, is that you're still not fully against white supremacy because you still haven't been able to kick that white style of long white hair off your head. So I don't buy that excuse that, oh, I'm not really pro-black, so therefore me wearing the wig that looks like a white woman's hair, you can't use that against me. The hell we can't. The hell we can. We can use it against you because it shows that there's still a problem. Right? It shows that there's still a problem. So you may be 98%, for the upliftment of black people and against white supremacy. But that 2%, you still got a problem because you haven't been able to overcome and kick the white supremacy off your head. You see? So that was another thing that I noticed, that they ignored the reason for why black men get the so-called man weave and why black women do it. As you can see, black men are getting it because of the loss of their hair, and perhaps they feel, they feel lack of confidence. They feel that it makes them look older, and they may be young men, and they feel that way. Whereas black women are doing it for the reason to imitate black men beauty standards. True, I agree with you, Joe. I agree. I wouldn't do it either. I mean, I'm 46 and we don't have hair loss in my family. So I wouldn't do it either. If I was losing hair, look, it's cool to be bald now, right? Back in the days, Jordan and all these guys made it cool to be bald. So men started to, especially black men, started to embrace the bald-headed style. Instead of doing like remember George Jefferson from back in the days? Like that first picture of dude here in the picture, right? That was that George Jefferson hairstyle where you kept the side all like a little afro on the side and the top is bald, right? So, but then black men, after Jordan went bald, black men started embracing the baldness. Some white men too embraced the baldness, right? Kojak style, if you're old enough to remember Kojak. So being bald is kind of cool, Mr. Clean style and all of that. You see? Yeah. Well, that may be part of it as well, because I mean, like, people have called her out on her constantly always attacking black men anyway. You feel what I'm saying? So that's part of her agenda as well, because there's always she's always trying to turn it around negative against black men, always. But right now, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I want to keep on this issue here. So like I said, the main issue, Cynthia, and for other black women who who, you know, were getting happy about the video. Because I mean, they were, brother, if you see the video, they were really happy. They were really happy. Like, this now opens up the gate, and now they have a legitimate excuse to continue wearing weave, and, you know, black men, now you can't say nothing against them. No, sisters, no. This does not give you a valid reason. Like I said, that's a fallacy. That's called the U2 fallacy. It's a fallacy to say, oh, you do it too, and therefore, you know, in other words, you can't quit. No, even if the person is a hypocrite, even if the person's a hypocrite and they're doing the same thing that you're doing, that they're telling you that's wrong, it's still wrong. That doesn't change the fact that it's still wrong. Okay. All right. So that was the main thing I wanted to address there. And as I said, you know, we know that it's unfortunate that the black woman's reason for getting the weave is a dislike of her hair. We've seen it. It's been exposed so many times. Like, for example, let's not forget what happened with Cheryl Underwood. Right? Now, she tried to make it like she was just joking. I mean, yeah, she was being funny, but you could tell that she was actually, you know, speaking some truth. She was actually speaking some truth. And the reason why people got upset about it is because she did it in front of white women. But the reality has been exposed, and many of us who grew up, we know that that's how many of you saw your sister, if she was getting her hair done, and it was rough and tough, and mom, you know, talking about the hair, and it hurts, and this nap, you know, we've seen that. We've seen it. You've heard it. You know about it. Whether you had your own sister had hair done, or you was at your cousin's house, or a friend or something, we've all seen it. I've seen it, and I know many of you have seen it growing up. And so remember with Cheryl Underwood, the incident that happened with Cheryl Underwood. Let's recap it.
Let's hear about Project Runway host Heidi Klum. Says she saves all kinds of keepsakes from her children with her ex-husband's seal, even their son's hair. In a recent interview, Heidi said, quote, "They have big afros, and when I shave them all down, I keep all the hair and put it in a Ziploc bag. I keep everything." What unusual things do we all save?
Okay, I'm sorry, but why would you save afro hair? I mean, you can't weave in afro hair. You don't never see us at the hair place going, look here, what I need is I need this curly nappy beard. that just seems nasty.
So, you know, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, later on, at first they tried to make, you know, like she was joking or whatever. But no, she's telling some truth there. She's speaking truth, and we've seen too many examples where black women just don't like their own hair. Right? I hate to bring him up, but Tommy, he's exposed it as well. Yeah, we know he has his thing about the black woman, but still can't deny the fact that he, even with his agenda, he still has he's even had videos where, you know, he's letting black women speak for themselves, showing their tweets or their Twitter, you know, on Twitter, or their Facebook posts or their videos or whatever, where they're going off on the hair of black women, the natural hair of black women, how they dislike it so much. So the evidence is ample. The evidence is amply there to show that, as Malcolm said, I'm going back to Malcolm, that who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate your skin color, your nose, your lips? Who taught you to hate it? It's there. It's ingrained in a lot of us. We've been infected with white supremacy on our minds, that we hate our skin color. I'm speaking in general. I'm not saying myself, of course, but we as a people, we hate our skin color, hate our hair texture, etc. And that's evidence. So here, Cheryl Underwood, yeah, she's being funny, but at the same time, right there, that was some truth being spoken. She was speaking truth, as you could see by her own hair, what she's wearing on her head right there. That wasn't just a joke just to be a joke. That was truth being spoken about how she and other black women view the natural texture of black people's hair. All right?
I get this. I mean, I don't know if I'm weird, but I have, like, my son's first haircut and hair little
Which is
things
probably some beautiful long silky stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, see? That's the standard, right? We've been trained to believe that that's the standard. The long silky stuff. So of course, what do black women do? What do some or many black women do? Right? What do they do? What do? They want that long, so-called long silky stuff, as you see here, right? And that's the Brazilian. Look at the names of the type of hair that's for sale. The Brazilian, the Malaysian, the Peruvian, Russian. That's white. White woman here, Russian. You can't deny that. That's white. So the other styles, they're not necessarily white people, but it's a type of hair texture that a black woman can use to imitate white women. Because clearly you don't want to look like a damn Malaysian, right? Clearly you're not trying to imitate a Malaysian. Clearly you're not trying to look like a Peruvian person. Right? Now Brazilians, okay, Brazilians, you know, they got some Spanish, they got some black Brazilians, but we know you're not trying to get the hair of the black Brazilian people, unless it's a mixed black Brazilian person. Because a lot of the unmixed or you know, mostly black Brazilian person, their hair is like our hair, our natural hair texture. Right? So the idea of getting this type of hair is to what? Again, we know you're not trying to look Malaysian or Peruvian. So who are you trying to imitate when you get in the hair like this? Because you're not trying to look Nigerian, are you? Notice no African country hairstyle. No Namibian hair, no Nigerian hair, no Ghanaian hair, right? No Ugandan hair. Look at the hair you're getting. Malaysian, Peruvian, Russian, Brazilian, Indian. But you're not trying to buy your own hairstyle. And you know what's interesting? When we hear these excuses about, oh, white women do it too, they don't. But why don't they buy your hair? White women do it too. But why don't they buy your hairstyle? How come they don't walk around? If it's something that all women do, why don't they buy your hair? How come we don't see sales to white women advertising? Oh, get that Nigerian, get that Ugandan, get that Timbuktuan, get that Malian. Get that Zimbabwean, right? They don't wear your hair unless it's a joke, like you see here. Unless it's a joke, right? Unless they're trying to be funny as a joke. But on a regular basis, they don't walk around buying your hair. Chinese women don't buy your hair. Malaysians don't buy your hair. Peruvians don't buy our hair. So what are you saying by default, by your actions? You don't got to say it with your words, but by your actions, you are admitting that our hair is not good. Not that it isn't good, but you're admitting, your actions is showing that clearly you believe that the hair of these other people is better than our hair. And clearly they agree because they don't buy our hair. They don't buy Afro hair like this to put on the Afro, unless it's as a joke, to be funny, to make fun, to make mockery. But as a regular, they don't go to work with your hair, buying your hair to look good to go out to the club tonight or on the weekend or to go to work. But you black women, many of you, you buy their hair and you wear it like it's your own on a daily basis. At that, on a daily basis, you wear it, pretending like it's yours. But they don't do that. If they do get it, extensions or whatever, they get hair that resembles their own hair. And from what I've seen on the research that I've done, when white women do get extensions or whatever, or Asians or whatever, when they do get it, a lot of times they do it for a special occasion. Many of the celebrities, the white women who do it, celebrities. They got a photo shoot. They got a TV appearance. But to walk around every day like it's their hair on a regular basis, I don't see them doing it. From what I've seen in the research I've done, usually when white women do it, it's because they have a photo shoot, a special event, but not walking around with it every day like it's their hair, like a lot of black women do. A lot of black men walk around with that hair like it's their own on a regular basis. We've seen it with some of the Olympic track stars, keeping it in their hair. You running track, but yet you still got that in your hair, like pretending like it's yours, like it's your everyday hair. When white women and these other and Asians do it, again, it's because it's a special event, a glam, you know, a photo shoot, model photo shoot. They're about to appear on TV, something like that. But not to be walking around in there every day like that. I mean, a lot of black women could be doing, you know, some cleaning up the house, and you still wrapping it up, putting a hat on and all that, like it's your real hair. So it's a difference. There's a difference on why it's done. But remember, they don't walk around they don't buy our hair. So that by that fact default that you buy theirs and they don't buy ours, you can't make it seem like, oh, this is just a trend that women do. Because I hear excuses that, oh, you know, we want to switch up. We want to have fun. Okay, why don't they have fun with your hair? Again, why don't they switch up and get your hair? Why don't they switch up and throw the afro on? Or throw some afro puffs? Or the big afro bun or whatever. Why don't they switch up for fun to do your hair? But when your excuse is, oh, we want to switch up, we want to have fun, and to get their hair, but they don't get yours. They don't have fun getting your hair, unless, like I said, they want to make a mockery at you or a joke about you or us as a people. So that's the really bigger issue. That really it really comes down to the infection of white supremacy, man. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to, the infection of white supremacy in our minds still. Especially look with the blonde with the blonde one. Especially with that blonde one. You know what I'm saying? But look, take a look at Chris Rock. How many remember this one? How many remember? Again, this is real. This wasn't like, I mean, yeah, he was trying to be funny, but when he went and talked to these people, this was real. He went into these places really talking to them. And there were black women at some of these places, some of these hair places, putting down our hair. Let's take a look.
Naranja, black hair, $2. Would you like to buy some black hair? Yeah, we have. I have all sorts of black hair here. Some of this hair is from Cleveland and Cincinnati. This hair is from Detroit.
Well, you might want to take it back.
So this is not good hair.
Is that off of someone else's?
So this hair was cut off at a Baptist temple.
Well, I couldn't. It wouldn't be.
And of course, you know, he's making a fun of that because in his documentary, we saw that a lot of the hair was coming from people in India who believe themselves that they are sacrificing by cutting off their hair to their gods, when in reality the temple takes the hair and sells it and makes money, right? Which shows you the foolishness of a lot of religious people. Shows you the foolishness of a lot of, but that's a whole nother subject right there. But that's one of the deeper things that's something on a side tangent that just goes to show you the foolishness of religious people. They sincerely believe that they are cutting their hair off and sacrificing it to their gods. Meanwhile, the temple is, not giving a damn about whatever god they think they're sacrificing it to, and they're selling that hair and making money off of these people, and making money while the people themselves don't make anything, because to them they sacrifice the hair to their gods, but the temple sells the hair, makes the money. See, so here he's being funny by saying, "Oh, it was cut off at a Baptist temple because of the fact that a lot of the hair that our people are buying, coming from this Indian temple." But let's continue.
It'd be healthy for me to sell that hair here.
What, you think somebody's gonna get like sickle cell or something from wearing black hair?
Oh yes.
The hair is no good.
What is black hair?
I know.
For black people.
Now you see, he has a black woman working with along with Li Ming Chow, and what is she telling him? The hair is no good. So in one way or another, black women, many black women, not all of you. Again, not all of you. I understand that's the new thing on YouTube now. You gotta specify not all. Not all of you. Once again, big up to the sisters who wear natural hair, who wear their hair natural. Got some dreads, micro braids, whatever, wear your hair. Or, and like I said, I'll even be lenient. Big up to the sisters who if you do get weave, at least you get weave that looks like a black woman's hair. So big up for that as well. Okay, so I want to make that clear. But as you can see, it's the actions, and your actions speak louder. Your actions say you don't believe our hair is good. And here, this is now is being said in word. And like I said, there have been examples where in words is said as well. The Cheryl Underwood incident, this incident right here, where this woman she's black, and she said, yeah, that hair ain't no good. It's no good. And they know it wouldn't sell. They can't sell our type of hair. So we bought into the myth that our hair is no good. We bought into the myth. As a people, we have bought into the myth that our hair is no good. Black women more so than black men, right? Because we grew out of that. We don't conk anymore, right? We don't get the conk and the perms anymore, right? We grew out of that. We got woken up. Malcolm X woke us up. Farrakhan woke us up. So black men, for the most part, we're not out there trying to get, the conks anymore. We're not conking our hair or perming it, right? And one of the issues too, in one of the videos, I made a comment, and somebody tried to make an issue about the waves. Look, waves, we can get waves naturally, right? All you gotta do, cut a short haircut and just brush. Just keep brushing your hair. That's how we get our waves. We don't gotta we don't gotta put no weave to get no waves. Put some hair grease in your hair and brush. Waves form in our hair naturally, and that forms in our hair naturally. I ain't never seen no white man with a fade and braids and waves. Because in one of the videos on the comment, one of the women tried to respond to me talking about with the wave. I was like, wave, that's our thing. White boys can't get waves. I've never seen a white boy with a short fade like black men with waves in his hair. I ain't never. Matter of fact, Eminem used to wear do-rag all the time, and his hair never got wavy. Right? Look at Eminem. He wearing do-rags all the time under his hat and all that. His hair never got wavy. Their hair doesn't do that. Our hair does that. Naturally, we can get waves by just brushing it or putting some grease in it and brushing. So don't use the waves as an excuse. Okay? But as I said, the actions are clear that we don't like our own hair amongst us. But let's watch a little bit more.
People.
But black people don't wear that no more.
So my nappy hair is not worth anything?
No.
They don't want to look like, Africa like this.
Yeah, you heard? Look at that. Yeah, they don't want to look like Africa. We did though. At one time we did though. At one time when we were fighting white supremacy strongly, we did want to look like Africa. That's when the afro was very popular, right? We were all rocking the afro. Black men, black women, black love, black pride. We was rocking that afro. Right? Black men and black women was rocking that afro. But now somehow it got knocked back. Somehow black pride got knocked back a little bit, and the infection of white supremacy kind of came back in. Right? It resurfaced. It resurfaced, and we went back to not liking our hair, or at least most amongst black women. We grew out. We left the Jerry curl alone. Right? When Ice Cube woke up and cut that Jerry curl off, black men started waking up. We started leaving the Jerry. I never had a Jerry curl either, but that was kind of a common thing. But we grew out of that too. We grew out of the Jerry curl also. But many of our women, unfortunately, have not been able to kick or get rid of the infection of white supremacy and white female beauty standards.
Okay.
They want to look the style. Right now you're looking at all the men can see all the style.
They want to
kind
look
of style
sexy. They want
sexy
this.
looking.
So this is sexy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody walks around with nappy hair no more.
Man, sad, bro. That's sad. That's really sad. Nobody walks, even though that's our natural hair. You know what I mean? That's our natural hair. So what you mean nobody? You know what I mean? But that's sad. That's sad though. You feel me? That's our natural hair, but But again, look, big up. Look, the black men that are doing it, at least they're getting hair that looks like it grows off the head of a black man. Look at this, bro. He got some dreads. He got some dreads put in. Okay, he got some dreads put in. Now, as far as the issue of the fakeness of it being fake, deceptive, okay, now that you want to make an argument for that, okay, that's one thing. But like I said, the major issue that black men have had with the weave is not so much of the fakeness, but more so of the imitation of white beauty standards. At least from what I've seen, that's been the major point. The contention has been that it's that getting this weave looking like white women's hair. You know, Brother Joe says that his focus is more with the personality. Now that's a whole nother, that's a different show, but I feel you on that. So I just wanted to bring that point up and to address the point and respond to Cynthia G's video. Because like I said, if you check her channel, she made 2 videos. She made the first video, then she made a follow-up video. But I just wanted to address it because, I mean, it's like they were going really overboard, man. They were really going overboard. They were really excited and a little too happy about so-called, you know, exposing the man weave thing. But like I said, I don't really see any validity in the argument because, you know, black men are not, again, I repeat that, as you can see again, look here, again, look what kind of hair he got. Look what kind of hair he got. He got the hair that looks like a black man. So clearly his issue was not white supremacy here. These men's, their issue is not white supremacy, as you can see that the type of hair they're getting. So it's not white supremacy. Their issue is something different. It's about the loss of hair, and perhaps they feel less confident. Perhaps they feel that it makes them look older, you know, than they really are, and they want to look like they're younger, like young men, and so they're getting it. But notice they're getting hair that looks like a black man's hair. So white supremacy is not the issue. Black men are not getting man weave because of white supremacy. Whereas, I repeat, the reason why many, not all, but many black women get the weave is to imitate and uphold the white female beauty standards of, like Cheryl Underwood said, that long, straight, silky hair. Right? Whereas as she said, you know, our hair is supposedly, you know, the beady bead and the nappy, and you know, nobody, who wants that? Who wants that? And obviously she wasn't lying, because as we see, yeah, who wants that? Y'all don't want it. Not all, many of y'all don't want it. You want to look like Becky. You want to look like Katie. You want to look like Melissa. So that's the problem. That's been the main point of contention. So I repeat, Cynthia G and friends, man weave does not give you a valid argument or excuse to continue wearing your weave and your wigs that looks like white women's hair. It doesn't. That's the two-key fallacy. That's the you also fallacy. I repeat, it's a fallacy because it does not negate that the action is still wrong. Even if the other person is doing it also, it's still wrong. You do not have an excuse. That does not give you an excuse now. It's still wrong. All right? So we're going to end it on that. If you appreciate the video and you want to support our channel, in the description of this video, there's a link to my PayPal. They call me Sensei. So, you know, you can go ahead and support the channel. And we're going to try to bring you more content on such issues, more content for men. And, you know, let's keep it going. But again, if you want to donate, I'd appreciate it. You can always make a donation, a contribution to support our channel, support our platform, with the link in the description of this video. And I'm out. Y'all have a good night.